Welcome to the 200 Proof Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Grayson Schutzman, and that is Willie Bites. Say hi to the people, Willie Bites.
Hi to the people.
Hi, people. We are sponsored by SeatGeek. 200 Proof Sports promo code on SeatGeek gets you $20 off any ticket. That's 200 Proof Sports. No spaces. I don't know if it has to be all caps, but that's how I do it. And I haven't tried it any other way, so just try that. Anyway.
Just do it one way that works every time until you die.
Yeah. Dude, that's how I've been jerking off.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we have a very busy docket today. We have recapping a crazy week in the NFL. Obviously, some Bo Nix stuff.
Obviously.
And we're going to be talking about the NBA, the Cup, the most important part of this season.
The Emirates Cup. It's very important that everybody know that it's the Emirates Cup.
Not the NBA Cup, not the mid-season tournament. The Saudi, these Arabians have big penises, Emirates Cup, I believe is the full name.
The Turkey Al-Sheikh Memorial Jamal Khashoggi Cup.
Yeah, and if we have time left over, we're going to talk some combat sports, some boxing, some UFC. All right, let's get into it. So, crazy stuff happened this week in the NFL. Nothing crazier than Bo Nix having 4 touchdowns.
Bo Nix. Who knew?
Nix!
Not me. I didn't know. That's the first time I heard that information.
We are making fun of my employer, Colin Coward, who after one of the craziest weeks of NFL football and the most famous guy in the NFL getting a season-ending injury, costing his team the playoffs and possibly next season, decided to lead his show with Bo Nix, who wasn't even the most interesting thing that happened in his game because Micah Parsons also tore his ACL in that game. Yeah,
I guess the Cowboys won that trade, huh?
Still remains to be seen. But they still have Jerry Jones, so they lose everything. But we will not be making Colin Coward's mistake. We will be starting with Patrick Mahomes. Don't know if you've ever heard of him. I know everyone's a big Bo Nix guy, but I think we should talk about this Patrick Mahomes kid.
Yeah, I mean, top 5 quarterback of all time already in terms of both talent and accomplishments.
Probably top 2, honestly.
Yeah, and he tore his ACL in pretty much garbage time.
I don't know. I think they were going to win. They were down by 3 points. They had time. He was going down the field.
Yeah, and
Gardner Minshew almost won it.
They definitely still had a chance at that game, but what I mean by garbage time is if you look at their
season.
Yeah, if you look at their playoff odds at that point, it was probably 5% by then. I mean, they went into the game with a 16% chance of making the playoffs, and by the time that injury happened, it was probably down to 12%, maybe less.
Well, this is what they needed. They needed a little help from Bo Nix because they needed to beat the Chargers, win out. They played the Titans and the Raiders, and then they would play the Broncos at home. They would have to beat Bo Nix. And Bo Nix would have to beat the Chargers.
Right.
Which we all know it's impossible to beat Bo Nix.
Yeah, no one's ever beaten Bo Nix, and no one will ever beat Bo Nix ever again.
Bo Nix!
Undefeated.
Yeah, so confirmed ACL tear. It looked really bad when it happened, so we all pretty much knew it was going to be an ACL tear. He couldn't walk off the field by himself. He couldn't even walk through the tunnels. I don't know why they felt the need to show us that. That was really sad. Just him being carried through the tunnel. They've never shown us the guy walking through the tunnel before, or lack thereof walking.
Yeah, I mean, they did show Paul Pierce in a wheelchair one time.
But that's because he pooped himself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so huge implications. The Chiefs are gone. They were eliminated from the playoffs this year.
Yes, the Chiefs are not fine.
The Chiefs are not fine, despite a consistent segment. The Chiefs are fine, but are the Chiefs fine? Because here's the thing: they're finally going to have a top 10. They're going to have a top 10 draft pick.
If they tank properly, this could be like a Warriors type situation where after their dynasty, Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, Klay Thompson tore his
everything.
ACL and then his Achilles, and they ended up with a few top 5 picks. Unfortunately, they drafted Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman, which did not pan out.
Is James Wiseman still in the NBA?
I think he might be on the Pistons, but if he is, he's not getting very many minutes.
The last I checked, he was on the Pistons, but he is on the Pacers. In fact, he was on the Pacers last year. He only played 1 game for 4 minutes.
Ugh.
He beat it this year. This year, because they've had so many injuries, he's played 1 game for 20 minutes.
Yikes. I mean, I feel like he gets forgotten when people talk about all-time busts.
That was people give that year a break. It was the COVID year. There was like no college season, and no one could evaluate players.
But to be fair, they did take him over LaMelo Ball.
What would LaMelo Ball do on the Warriors? What does LaMelo Ball do now?
Scores like 23 points a game, averages like 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. I think LaMelo is an incredibly talented player. He just is a bonehead. Yeah, he needs a coach. He needs veteran leadership, which on the Hornets he's instructor. Not gonna get.
Anyway, NFL.
With more than 1 foot.
The most famous NFL player in the world is going to miss the rest of the season. They're getting eliminated from the playoffs after going to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls.
But Bo Nix did stuff. Why aren't we talking about Bo Nix?
We will get to Bo Nix. Call it Nix heads. Bo heads?
There are dozens of us.
Bo buddies? Bovines. I'm out of Bo jokes. But anyway.
Bofadies.
Bozos. But anyway. I don't know why anyone is talking about this. We don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to play next year. The ACL, this was late in the season. The ACL is often a full year injury.
Yeah, obviously it depends, how the surgery goes. Obviously, doctors, once they get in there, they can really take a look. And, obviously, I think we all hope that Mahomes comes back. I think it'll really depend on how the Chiefs play the first half of next year. If they, are, 5-4 by week 9 or 10, and they have a shot at making the playoffs, maybe Mahomes comes back. If they're 1-7, and the season's pretty much done, I think Mahomes just plays it safe, or at least that's what I hope.
Basically what they should have done with Joe Burrow on the Bengals this year.
Yes.
Don't know why they brought him back. It was fun for a couple games, then got really sad. But yeah.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs have a lot going on this offseason. They're going to lose. Travis Kelce's going to retire.
I really hope he does, for his sake.
He doesn't look good.
I love Travis Kelce. You hate to see a beloved player spend the last few years playing like crap.
Yeah, hasn't been great. He's had some good moments, but it's fine. He probably should have retired at the end of last season, but he didn't want to go out with that Super Bowl loss where he was awful. Like, kind of.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten to the depths of like, oh, this is really sad, but if he keeps playing, it will. So he should cut it now. Yeah.
They needed a lot of offensive line. That was their big issue this year. They went through like 6 left tackles, which is the most important position. Their line's a mess. Receivers, they're probably fine for now. Like, Mahomes has done shit with less. They're going to need a new tight end. A lot of people think they're going to get Kyle Pitts. They're going to have a top 10 pick. Chris Jones is getting old. They're going to need some more defensive pass rushers. Some secondary. They actually
need a refresh.
Can I throw this out there?
Yeah.
Are the Giants in a better position going forward than the Chiefs?
That's so funny. That is that is the funniest thing I've heard all day. That is like.
Okay, think about it like this. We just listed everything the Chiefs need.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants have their quarterback. They'll have Malik Neighbors coming back. He tore his ACL at the beginning of the season. I was there.
Right.
Cam
Way better.
Scatterboo. They got a couple other running backs. The offensive line has gotten to like acceptable bad. Like they could probably get that to average. They currently have the number 1 pick. And
What do you think we'll spend it on?
I think
Probably a receiver that we don't need.
we should probably trade down to someone who needs a quarterback. I was thinking the Jets at 5. So what we need is, I got a great Giant staff for you.
What we need is for the Giants to spend every single draft pick that they have on the offensive line.
Always, but wait, no, I got a great staff for you. The Giants are the second worst running defense of all time this year.
Second only to another Giants team.
No. Second to the Cincinnati Reds. In 1933, there was the Cincinnati Reds. Did they just become a baseball team? What the fuck?
Oh, God. That is really bad. That's so bad. 1933?
Yeah.
Were forward passes even legal then? Like,
It was Teddy Roosevelt who legalized the forward pass, so yeah. Because we were already on to the second Roosevelt by now.
okay, and were we still wearing like leather helmets?
I don't know what 1933 football. Let me see. 1933 Cincinnati Reds. It's weird that comes up so fast. Yeah, very leathery football. No shoulder pads. Everyone's white. What was their record? What? No, this is the baseball team. They existed at the same time? How? The team started 0-5-1. They ended the season 3-6-1. But that says in the NFL. It says they have I gotta explain this. It says that they're 3-6-1 parentheses NFL, and then under it says 6-6-1 overall. What's the rest? What's the other 3 games?
Like exhibition games, maybe?
I don't know what was going on.
They were playing college teams.
Can I list you some teams? Wait a minute. Okay, no. This was the inaugural season of them, but I do want to list out you some of the teams that they played because it's gonna sound really familiar. Mm-hmm. They opened the season against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Then they played the Portsmouth Spartans.
Like Portsmouth, Maine?
It says Portsmouth. I don't know. Where's Portsmouth?
I think that's in Maine or New Hampshire.
It is Ohio. Portsmouth, Ohio. Then the Troy, not the Troy you're thinking of, Troy, Ohio Flyers. They won that one 59-0. Then the Memphis Tigers, the Chicago Cardinals, the Pittsburgh Pirates again, the Brooklyn Dodgers.
These are baseball teams, dude.
I know. There's gonna be a football team coming up. The Pittsburgh Pirates again, the St. Louis Gunners, the Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals, and then it's repeats of the same teams again.
Half of those were baseball teams.
I think the baseball teams already existed, and they're just like, let's just name
the same name.
Same name.
Why not? Why not?
Maybe it was owned by the same guys. I don't know. But yeah, so they need run defense. They have a good pass rush, but they have no secondary, so it doesn't matter because they can't cover the receivers. So the guy's just getting the ball out before the pass rush gets there.
Yeah, so you're asking if the Chiefs are in a worse position than the Giants. I'm telling you that is hilarious. The Giants have one of the worst owners in football, one of the worst GMs in football, no coach, a quarterback who is probably going to have to retire due to concussions after about 3 or 4 years, running back with a brain made of wood.
Yeah.
But
he dominates his tacos.
and the most depressing stadium I've ever been to.
Okay. You forgot to mention a wide receiver who seemingly decides he wants to get injured when his favorite rappers are in town so that he can go to the concerts.
Still better than OBJ.
Still better than OBJ.
I don't care what Neighbors does. Nothing will ever be as bad as that boat picture.
I like that OBJ couldn't catch balls if they were thrown into his chest. He could only do the one-handed thing because that's all he ever practiced. Because he said, and I quote, it looks cooler.
I mean, fair.
He
It
got
worked out for
famous
him.
doing it. Or everything in his career is based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once again, they got the number 1 pick. They could trade down and get like 3 picks.
But you're assuming that the Giants are thinking like a competent franchise.
We have been good at drafting. We have been bad at keeping those players on our team.
We have not been good at drafting.
We got Kim Scatterboo.
We have been good at drafting good players.
But not the right players.
But those players go on and play for other teams. We have not drafted the right players. We don't draft offensive linemen. We don't draft defensive linemen. We don't draft linebackers.
We drafted Abdul Carter.
These are the players that you need to have in place before. It's like they're the meat and potatoes. Your receivers, your cornerbacks, those are dessert, okay? You don't get to have dessert until you finish your fucking dinner.
That's a Colin Cowherd take, by the way.
Don't say that. Don't say that to me.
The way he would say it is the quarterbacks, linemen, offensive line, defensive line, that's the cake. The wide receivers are the frosting.
Yeah, well, if all you eat is cake, you're going to get diabetes. So enjoy your diabetes, Colin. To quote Pink Floyd, how can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
Exactly. But anyway, hey, Patrick Mahomes might never be the same again.
He'll be fine.
He'll probably be fine, yeah. And I think I think Jackson Dart's gonna be fine. I think they're gonna work on the not leading with his head thing. Drake may have the same problem last year.
Listen, I want it to work out with Jackson Dart. I really do, but
his girlfriend's so hot.
She is.
And
if
you guys don't see her, she's gonna be at the Jake Paul fight because she's the MVP ring girl.
Oh shit. But no, the Chiefs have been the best team in the NFL over the past 10 years, and to think that the Giants are in a better position than them is hilarious.
I would like to point this out, though. For the Mahomes-Brady thing, both of them won 3 Super Bowls. Mahomes went to 5, lost 2. Brady went to 4, lost 1. And then immediately tore their ACL in their 8th season. So I think we're going to get the second dynasty at the other end of this. They're going to have a few years fixing the cap's hell that they put themselves in, replacing the players that aged out, and rebuilding around Mahomes.
And hopefully, if they're anything like the Patriots, they can draft a murderer as a tight end.
That always helps. I mean, Rashee Rice tried.
Just keep doing more of that, and everything will work out for you. So,
yeah, it's gonna be a really weird playoffs because Josh Allen will be a wild card. We might not have Mahomes. We won't have Mahomes. We might not have Lamar. We won't have both. If Josh Allen doesn't go to at least get to the Super Bowl, it's gonna be really sad. He's gonna have to go through Bo Nix.
He's gonna have to go through Drake May.
That's true, and that was a really weird game. But we have to move on to Old Man Rivers.
Old Man Rivers.
Old Man Rivers. I think the people who are just like box score watching and because they didn't want to actually watch the Phillip Rivers Colts vs. Seahawks probably think he did better than he did. It was a lot of handoffs and 5-yard throws, and I forgot how weird his like throwing motion was. He was like,
yeah, he was kind of game managing and trying not to die.
He did surprisingly well.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't try to do too much.
Almost won the game. Crazy.
Yeah.
But then he has to play 3 more games, and it's all against good defenses.
Yeah, we'll see how his brittle bones hold up. I think, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of people saying he wanted to reset the clock on his health insurance running out because he has 10 children. So I get it.
You don't think that he's able to support his 10 children on his high school football coach salary?
No.
I think he wanted to reset his clock on his Hall of Fame class because this class is so tough that he's never going to get in.
I don't think he's getting in anyways.
If he wins a Super Bowl at 44.
Sure.
George Foreman kind of did it.
If Eli Manning is, like, people are arguing about Eli Manning getting into the Hall of Fame, which he should 100% be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be the only person in the Hall of Fame.
Philip Rivers, very good football player, but it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah. And on that, let's talk about someone who's not very good.
Not good at all.
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders.
Legendary. Okay, so Shedeur Sanders played bad again. Can we talk about it, or are we racist?
We can be both.
I thought we're only allowed to talk about Shedeur Sanders when he plays well against a really bad team.
No, that's your other podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
So Shedeur Sanders, continuing his being bad at football, went up against a good team, not a great defense, but a good team, and played one of the worst games of football of all time.
Again,
he keeps doing that. But we should give him credit for last week. Played a good game against the worst team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And now I am once again questioning if Shedeur Sanders is better than Dillon Gabriel, and I would like someone to provide me with some kind of evidence that he is. Because they keep saying, well, clearly Shedeur has proven that he's at least better than Dillon Gabriel, and I'm not seeing that.
Maybe they're tanking.
They're definitely tanking. Probably for a quarterback. I'm just going to pull these stats again. I want to see if it's changed.
Maybe Shedeur Sanders is. I want to get this right. The Nathan Peterman of Johnny Manziel's.
So the worst you think he's worse than Johnny Manziel?
No, I think he's a player who was like kind of good in college and had a ton of media attention. But he's really good at practice, so they keep him on rosters. But he's just horrible in games. Every time they put him in, he's horrible.
I actually think he's just black Tim Tebow. Like, he must be awful at practice.
National championships,
and
leadership qualities.
Yeah, I just want to point out, still, how many games are we at with Shedeur now? 4 or 5? 4 starts, 5 games, 4.5 games in. And Dillon Gabriel played 6. Shedeur has played 4. Dillon Gabriel still leads Shedeur Sanders in every single statistical category. He has a better passer rating. He has more yards per pass. He has more yards per game. He has a better completion percentage. Shedeur Sanders has played 2 of the worst teams in the NFL, and he still can't prove that he's better than Dillon Gabriel. But everyone's like, but look, he's obviously better than Dillon Gabriel, and no one can provide any evidence to that.
He's not better.
Dillon Gabriel, who broke every record in college, obviously he had Oregon, it's a better team, but still. I just need some evidence that he's better than Dillon Gabriel.
There is none, because he's not. And the only reason that Shedeur is even on an NFL roster right now is because he's a huge Nepo baby.
Yeah, that's the main reason. All right. Moving on. Let's do some NBA talk. Do you want to start with your favorite thing?
My favorite thing? Well, they're kind of all pretty exciting, to be honest. Do you want to just go down the list here?
Sure, we can start at the top.
So, last week, it was announced that Giannis Antetokounmpo, a.k.a. the Greek Freak, a.k.a. Daddy, has purchased a 28-unit apartment building in Brooklyn. So that's just more people who are going to have Greek landlords named Giannis in New York. But it does stoke the rumors that Giannis may be requesting a trade to a certain New York team.
It's not gonna. So he's gonna be a Net.
Not going to be the Nets. It's not.
You don't think he wants
Nets.
to play with Michael Porter Jr.? That's a top 3 Porter Juniors.
Michael Never Swing the Rock Porter Jr., who's actually been playing pretty well.
Yeah, because he's on a team where he has no one to pass it to, so he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean he's on a team with Cam Thomas.
2 guys who don't pass. How's that team doing?
Not well.
I knew it wasn't doing well, but I honestly haven't checked in.
They're like second or third last in the East.
Yeah, third. They're 7-18.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
Honestly, a little.
Yeah.
Apparently they've had the easiest schedule in the NBA so far.
So, yeah, Giannis has been pretty vocal about requesting a trade.
He hasn't said anything. There's been leaks.
Yes. And honestly, can't blame him. The Milwaukee Bucks have really not done much to build around him. Their team is pretty bad this year. They should be a top.
He actually has the same owner as Shedeur Sanders.
Surprise, surprise.
I brought that up during my my debate thing, and like no one realized that, and I was like a real like holy shit moment. Everyone's like, wait, after the championship, the guy who owns the Browns bought the Bucks?
Yeah. The guy ruins everything he touches.
Yeah, he also, his dad didn't trust him to run the business that he inherited.
I wonder why.
So they just gave him like a job that was just a title and had like someone else run it, but he has all the money, so he used it to buy the Browns.
Honestly, I would do the same. I wouldn't buy the Browns, obviously. I would buy a good team, but
I would buy the Dolphins, maybe.
Yeah, they're in Miami. That's fun.
Yeah, the NFL season's during the winter. It gives you an excuse to go down there during the winter.
Yeah.
Expectations are pretty low.
But in a hypothetical trade scenario, who on the Knicks would we trade? I think it would have to be Cat.
I think no, because I want Cat and Giannis together because you want a floor spacing center. Otherwise, it's Giannis and Mitchell Robinson out there.
Yeah. So then
there's so many options for guys to foul who can't shoot free throws.
So then who? OG?
I think Bridges obviously has to be in it, I think.
Yeah, I think OG and Bridges gets it done. And some draft picks.
Yeah, it's really confusing with we gotta play around with that trade machine you can do where it'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think Josh Hart might be in it, which would suck.
No, you can't break up the Nova Knicks. Power of friendship.
Yeah, I think you'd have to trade. I think it might need to be a 3-team trade so you can get more draft picks involved because we traded 5 picks for Bridges.
Yeah.
So we'll probably send Bridges to somewhere else in exchange for like 3 of the 5 draft picks we gave up. Because the Bucks need draft picks because they don't have any for like 8 years.
Right, because they gave him up all up in the Lillard trade.
Lillard, yeah, that worked out so well. I think
think
they
that
also
was
traded
where
like
it all went
5
wrong.
picks for like the corpse of Serge Ibaka at one point.
Oh yeah.
That was Jimmy Haslam's first move. He traded Dante DiVincenzo and a bunch of second-round picks for, I think it was Serge Ibaka and Jay Crowder. Yeah, he's not good at this.
No. Serge Ibaka, who probably lied on his birth certificate so that teams would think he's younger than he actually is.
Definitely. But I think, I don't think the Knicks is presently constructed. I think they can win the East. I definitely think there's like 3 teams that can win the East. They're one of them.
Yeah, the Knicks, the Cavs, and the Pistons.
Yeah. I don't think the Magic can do it. I don't think the Celtics without Tatum can do it.
Not this year. Next year, sure.
Yeah. So they can make, but I don't see, like, think of the 3 best teams in the West. I don't think they can beat. I don't think they can beat like the
Denver,
5
no
best
way.
teams in the West, honestly.
They can't beat Denver. No, there's no way they can beat OKC. Although it would be really cool to have the first all blue and orange finals.
That would be so hard to look at. I don't know who picked those colors. They don't go well together.
I mean, they're contrasting colors, like yellow and purple, or green and red.
It looks weird. It looks better for the Knicks, maybe because we're just used to it.
Yeah, well, it's also the colors of every single movie poster.
That's true. So I don't see them beating. They're not going to beat OKC. I don't think anyone could argue that.
Definitely can't beat OKC. Can't beat Denver. Maybe they could beat the Lakers, but I don't think the Lakers will make the finals.
We might be able to beat Denver.
Either. Maybe.
Just because, remember how Minnesota beat Denver with the two big lineup where Cat was the power forward, and then they had Rudy Gobert as the center, and they on Jokic. We might be able to employ that with Cat and Mitchell Robinson.
I mean, we do have the personnel, but I don't think Jokic will be that easy to guard. I really don't.
Famously easy to guard Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. I mean, with that, it kind of depends on if Jamal Murray shows up.
Yeah. And we don't really have anyone who would guard Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray probably the best player I can think of to have never made an all-star team.
That's just because he keeps getting hurt at the beginning of seasons.
Yeah.
And the all-star game's like halfway through the season.
Yeah.
But, but with Giannis, I really hope we can keep OG. Brunson, probably lose Hart. Probably use Hart and Mitchell. So Giannis, Cat, Brunson. Not a lot of depth.
That's a big three.
That's a big three, which are doing so well in the NBA nowadays.
Yeah. And I want to come back to that later because I miss big threes, okay? Big threes are fun.
It was fun.
Big threes, like...
It's so much better than this OKC thing where it's just like everyone's like a B+, like down to like their 15th guy.
Yeah, and we'll get into that later. But first, let's talk about Victor Wembanyama.
He's back and he beat the OKC. He's our
finally returned. He was plus 21 in 22 minutes.
Jesus.
Against the best team in the league.
He hates Chet.
It's so funny.
I like that Chet would be Victor Wembanyama if Victor Wembanyama didn't exist.
Yeah. I also think Wemby has a better build than Chet and is smarter and stronger and better in every way.
And has more swag.
Way more swag.
Everyone has more swag than...
Chet is a quirked out white boy. Okay, let's be real.
He's the weirdest guy.
I think he's fun. I think Chet seems like a fun guy to hang out with, but Victor's just better.
But yeah, do you want to go on your
first team? I think they're ahead of schedule,
but should they trade for Giannis?
No.
Why? No. Why? Don't you want to see it?
Yeah, but you're the one who's always saying, let players develop, don't rush a win now move.
But I want to see their arms spread. I want to see them stand next to each other with their arms out and see if anyone can get by like half court.
They'd be lethal in a game of Red Rover.
It's just, it's 16 feet of arms between the two of them?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
and
like
they
half
can
the court.
slide their feet really well?
Yeah, the leg span, crazy.
Yeah, no one's getting past half court.
So, I mean, is it too late to just give Victor Wembanyama all the awards and say he's the best player ever?
He has to, play the 65 games.
Yeah, but, do we really care about that? Can we make an exception?
I don't super care about it. I like that the rule exists because guys were missing too many games.
Yeah.
And if you look back in history, it usually went to guys who were playing at least 65 games anyway, except for the All-NBA teams. But Wemby's awesome. I just hope he stays healthy. We're all a little still worried about a guy with that build who moves like that, and
Yeah, it takes a lot of contact too. He ends up on the floor a lot. But I think honestly, the Spurs were just playing it like ultra safe.
It was a calf strain, which is like after what we've seen with all the fucking Achilles tears. A calf strains is what leads to Achilles tears.
Yeah.
So everyone's playing that. That's what Giannis has right now. That's why he's out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Or they're just trying to not have him injured so that they can still trade him.
That's 100% what I thought happened because I was watching that game and he just was standing there and went, and then sat down after like a minute of the game. That's probably what's going on. Do you want to hate on OKC yet? I'm waiting to hear your OKC hate. I've been sitting here patiently waiting through Bo Nick's talk.
Another orange and blue team. I hate the OKC Thunder. I think first of all, Sam Presti is a fucking terrorist.
Because he's too good at his job?
Needs to be stopped. And they've done this thing where, and I was talking with Grayson about this the other day, where basically you play players in a system and you feature a couple players and you get them to average 25, 5 and 7, make them look really great, but they're only really good because they're the focus of your system. And then you trade them for lots of draft picks, and you just do that until you have so many draft picks that you can draft all the best players.
They have 13 first-round picks in the next 5 years.
And then you win forever. And, by the time you have to actually pay some of these amazing players, you just trade a few of them for more draft picks and pay the ones that you like.
It's so unfair how, like, all of their picks keep just working out. That has to just go back to the average. Even, like, because the draft is a bit of a crapshoot. Even, like, the best guys in history, they don't hit on every pick. AJ fucking Mitchell?
Here's what I think the OKC Thunder do so well. Most NBA teams draft based on talent, and they draft based on performance in college, and they draft based on fit. We need a power forward. Oh, we need a point guard. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I think the OKC Thunder draft on what's between the ears. Every single player I've seen on OKC is humble, coachable, smart, and, that's what it takes to play in a system.
This is the Bill Belichick way. It eventually ran out, but he got a little distracted.
Yeah. All they got was, 6 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Went to 9?
If the Giants only win 6 Super Bowls, I'll take it.
Which they will. They're in a better position than the Chiefs. We discussed that. We agreed.
Yeah, definitely. We agreed on that. The problem is a lot, kind of like the Spurs, but way, way, way worse. This team has no personality.
No. That's a huge problem with the NBA in general right now.
I don't know the first thing about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I can name two other players on their team, one of who is Alex Caruso, who already had a personality from the Lakers. Okay.
And his personality is on bald and white.
This team feels like it's AI generated. They have 8 guys named Jalen Williams. How uncreative is that? You think that you would just at least pick some different names, but evidently
Jalen is the most common name in the NBA. Shout out Jalen Rose, the OG.
Evidently, ChatGPT is glitching out and just keeps on pumping out 90 overall basketball players named Jalen Williams on the OKC Thunder. They're all between the heights of 6'4" and 6'7". They're
all lockdown defenders that can score 20.
Lockdown defenders. They can, drive to the basket and shoot the 3.
And they have no discernible personality.
besides fouling the shit out of players when they're guarding them.
They were doing a lot of that last season. Can we discuss how like this team seems unbeatable, but they went to 7 and we're probably going to lose Game 7 if Halliburton didn't go down?
Well, that's the thing about these unbeatable teams. Like, they always look unbeatable when they're winning.
And we this entire decade, we have assumed the team that just won is going to win next year. 2020, the Lakers, everyone's like, next year the Lakers going to win. And it's actually always injury. Oh, except for the one guy, the best player in the league, no injury on that team. He lost. So like 2020, the Lakers win. 2021, LeBron and AD get hurt. I forgot which one got hurt at the worst time, but you know, they got hurt. 2021, the Bucks won. Everyone's like, Bucks cakewalk to the finals. They're gonna destroy everyone. Giannis is the king of the league. Chris Middleton goes down. They get take the Celtics 7, whole thing. 2022 was the Warriors year. I don't know if anyone thought the Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one thought the Warriors were gonna repeat.
2023 was the Celtics. Everyone thought that team was going to repeat. I still maintain the Knicks were going to win anyway. They were going to win that Game 5. They were going to be up 3-1. 85% chance they win that.
All of our players got injured.
Jason Tatum got injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, Shea gets injured. They still
I hope so.
They still have the best net rating in the league. I don't see how but he's kind of like Jokic. Like, the way he plays, it doesn't seem like he can get injured. He doesn't leave the ground much. He's not moving quickly.
Yeah, all he does is foul bait.
He is so... Here's the thing with the three-point revolution and all these guys who try and defend it, and it's like, but people love watching Steph Curry. He's like, the three-point revolution has led to a lot more James Harden clones than Steph Curry clones.
Yeah, well,
you got
it's a lot
Trae
easier
Young, Shea, even Jalen, Luka. They're all playing like James Harden. None of them are playing like Steph because it's exhausting.
It's exhausting and it's really difficult. And I just want to say this.
You actually have to be good at basketball.
I just want to say this. There's been a shift in the NBA in the past, I'll call it 5 years, where the era of star-centric lineups is out, and now it's all about depth. 1 through 7, 1 through 8 depth. And
OKC probably has, if they did a draft and just split their team in two, both teams would make the playoffs.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And OKC figured out that's where the league was headed. They prepared for it. But
they tricked the Clippers.
It sucks. It's boring. It doesn't produce stars the way that, we used to have. Growing up, these teams had strong identities. Kobe with the Lakers, the Big Three Celtics, the Heatles, the Splash Brothers.
They were fun.
Even like the power of teamwork Spurs were fun to watch, like ethical basketball. But like at least you knew who these guys were. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Boris Diaw. Like Greg Popovich even
Everyone knew about Boris Diaw.
Everyone knows about Boris Diaw. And, with the Thunder, you might say to me, and like, I think this is due to all the cap rules that have been put in place. And I think that they should be changed because I hate the way that the league looks right now. And you can say to me, you can't change the rules just because you don't like how they're doing it. But that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they didn't like how the Warriors were doing it.
They didn't like how the Warriors were doing it. They were too good at making money. God forbid a team makes money and pays players. And so they were like, actually, you guys can't do that anymore. And now we have the fucking Thunder. So thanks, Adam Silver. Great job.
Yeah, my question, and we can't have dynasties, and that's what attracts people to the sport because no one can maintain a team for more than a couple of years.
David Stern would never have let this happen.
My question is, it's still a soft cap. It's like the apron. There's punishments. How does the NFL get away with, like, it doesn't seem like the cap exists in the NFL because they just, like, push the salaries to, like, later years and restructure contracts. They have a hard cap, and yet it seems like they have way more flexibility.
I'll be honest, I have no idea how the NFL cap works. I feel like every time I look at it,
the only guys who know how it works are the Rams.
every time I look at it, it's like, yeah, the cap's $200 million and our top 3 players combined make $180 million a year. And we pay the other 52 guys with like the remaining $6 million. And I'm like, how does this work?
Somehow the Giants would be like, doing like the worst years of the Giants, be like, well, we have to cut guys because we don't have enough cap space for our draft picks.
Yeah,
But
like
the Rams are like, we just won the Super Bowl. We have like an all-star team, and we just got Jalen Ramsey also.
Yeah, and by the way, like we're also signing
Devontae Adams.
Yes, star D lineman.
Yeah, we got Aaron Donald. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
How are the Eagles still keep getting away with this?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But yeah, the cap makes no sense, and the rules in the NBA, this second apron thing, it has to go, because otherwise the NBA is never going to be fun again. And there's some other stuff we have to fix because we need American players to be good. So,
well, I think that has to do with AAU and how that's
structured. It's a combination of AAU. I also think the 1 year of college rule, they gotta get rid of that. They have to create stars in college like football and the WNBA did with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Like, if you have these people on the same team, you create characters and storylines, and then they're closer to their prime when they enter the league, instead of them coming in at 19 years old and you have to wait 5 years to see them in meaningful games.
Yeah, I think it should be like you can
3
declare
years of college. You should have to do 3 years.
Yeah, or you can just enter the draft out of high school.
Yeah. And that's going to be like the way it was, where they're like, one guy every couple of years maybe.
Yeah, it was like LeBron, Kevin Garnett, Kobe, Tyson Chandler.
There's probably some that didn't work out that we're not thinking of.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
But they can just, they then, like, if it doesn't work out with the draft, like if they don't get drafted, they can still go to college.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, they get drafted and they suck.
Oh, well, the skill issue.
Yeah, literally. NBA Cup. Real quick. What is the NBA Cup? No, sorry. The Emirates Cup.
Right, the Emirates Cup. I don't know. Bottom line, nobody knows how it works, but it's provocative.
It gets people going. I'll explain it real quick. It's an in-season tournament where all the players on the team that wins gets $100,000 each. It means nothing. It's basically a copy. That's how you get them to care. It's
okay, but they realize that for someone making $40 million a year, which is like an average star in the NBA, they make $500,000 per game.
The only people who care are the lower guys on the roster, and the stars say that they're trying hard because it would help those guys out.
I think it should have like some kind of playoff seeding implication. Like if you win the NBA Cup,
they should win the championship.
I think if you win the NBA Cup, like you're guaranteed the Emirates Cup. If you win the Emirates Cup, you're guaranteed like a top 4 seed, and if your team is already in the top 4, you get to move up one spot maybe.
I think you should get to pick your playoff opponent, your first round playoff opponent.
Sure.
Of these 7 other teams, what if you don't make the playoffs? That would suck. If you don't make the playoffs, you get the 10th seed in the last play-in game.
Yeah.
And then, if you're in the playoffs and you're a top 4 seed, you should get to pick who you play.
Yeah.
Because there's too many instances of like that team, that 6th seed is amazing, and it sucked. Or like the 8th seed is amazing, and they just were injured in the middle of the year, but now they're healthy, so they're an 8th seed. Like that's a lot of why we've been seeing like all these upsets in the playoffs. It's because these guys just get injured in the middle of the year.
Well, there's only ever been one team that was below a 3 seed that won the championship.
It was the Hakeem Rockets, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The Heat were the 8 seed and got to the finals, but they lost.
The Knicks, also an 8 seed, got to the finals and lost.
Nice.
Lockout year. But the Knicks playing the Fighting Wembies. That team's loaded, by the way.
The Fighting Wembies?
Yeah. Dylan Harper is fucking great.
And his mom is so hot.
And then you got
Stefan Castle, fantastic.
Fox.
Devin Vassell, Fox. Yeah, they have a
haven't
good
really seen
team.
Wemby and Fox play together, but
Yeah,
they could trade for Giannis. I'm telling you,
they could. They
You
could.
trade Dylan Harper, who was the second pick of the draft. You trade some of your own draft picks. Send it to for Giannis. Then you got Castle, Vassell. Maybe you throw Sean in the trade. I don't know whatever you got to do to make the salaries work. Giannis, Wemby, Darren Fox, Stefan Castle. Boom.
That would be an amazing team. Yeah, and Luke Cornett.
Anyway, all right, we'll wind down here. That's it for NBA. I get to do my thing now, where we're gonna get moving on to Combat Sports, and to start this, I noticed this, and I just want to list something at you. These are all of the boxing fights that are currently in negotiation, like been reported, and it's reported by like The Ring, which is Turkey's the source. He's the guy paying for everything, so he'll know the best.
Yeah.
This is just for May 2026. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, the biggest fight in the history of Europe.
Let's go.
Naoya Inoue versus Hunter Nakatani, the biggest fight in the history of Asia.
By the way, I've been watching Inoue highlights. He is terrifying.
The monster.
Yeah.
Literally the monster.
Maybe my new favorite boxer. Keep going.
Both Japanese boxers are the best. Benavidez versus Ramirez, which would be a massive Mexican fight. And they're saying May 6th, so Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Cinco de Drinko, baby.
And then Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, which could be like getting Canelo Crawford in their primes before they were famous.
I'm loving this. This sounds incredible.
So that's May.
Riyadh season.
That's just May. Who knows if they all happen? If half of those happen, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is, this is both a boxing and a UFC thing. The Paramount deal starts.
Right.
Zuffa Boxing the 23rd. The first UFC card, I believe, is the 24th. Currently, the Zuffa Boxing thing, the TKO Boxing thing, they're also trying to buy USA Boxing.
What's USA Boxing?
It's like the guys who go to the Olympics. I didn't know you could buy that.
Sure.
But that would also give them a pipeline of all the young American fighters directly into their league.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but I just want to talk about like the Paramount thing and like the implications of it, mostly for the UFC right now, but that other thing in the future. I keep seeing the ads on every time I watch football because I knew it was going to be helpful. Being on Paramount was a big deal. I thought it was like, but I'm like, Paramount Plus, not the biggest streaming service, and also kind of already their demographic.
Kind of just that one that you download when you want to watch Yellowstone.
Yeah, the marketing though, because they're giving Dana White like 15 minutes at halftime of like the biggest games to just talk about his cards.
Yeah.
And also, if they buy HBO, they're not going to be bigger than Netflix, but it'll basically be like Netflix, Paramount, and everyone else.
Yeah. Interesting times for fight fans, but I am glad to see that we're moving away from pay-per-view because that is the most asinine. What do you mean I have to pay more money to watch the games?
Especially in the streaming era where so I have to subscribe to DAZN and then I have to buy this thing.
Imagine if you had to pay $50 every time you wanted to watch a football game.
If they just, they want to do that. They definitely want to be like, okay, you could buy football games.
Of course they want to do that, but we will never accept it.
Just a la carte football.
They make so much money from ad revenue that, they don't need to do that. So hopefully that's what happens. If we have time, I would love to just jump into some UFC news about the actual fights.
I'm just really interested about this Paramount thing. I'm excited to see, and the no pay-per-view thing, what happens January 23rd.
Yeah. So I'll just talk about two fights very briefly. UFC, I think it was 324, was 2 weekends ago. We had some amazing fights. Not going to jump into all of them, but we did have Alexander Pantoja versus Joshua Van for the 125-pound belt. And it was extremely anticlimactic because within the first 30 seconds, Pantoja either broke or dislocated his elbow, which was really horrifying to watch.
Okay, yeah.
And for some reason, they kept showing it in slow motion, which, like, why? Why?
Well, I was really confused because I blinked, and then the fight was over.
Yeah, and
like, what happened?
You could tell it was going to be a great fight. I mean, both fighters have really strong striking, really great grappling, a ton of firepower and toughness, and they were throwing hard, but unfortunately that is the way it ended. I think Joshua Van is going to be a star. He's only 24 years old, and
do you think he would have won if that guy didn't break his elbow?
It was going to be a close fight, but we didn't really get enough to make a determination one way or the other.
It was like, what, 35 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, he was the number one contender for a reason. He had won a lot of really good fights. So hopefully we get a rematch at some point soon. I think Van is going to take at least one fight before we get a rematch, just because didn't take any damage, only fought for like 30 seconds. So, of course, he's still fresh. But then the far more interesting fight
you could probably play on the January card if you wanted to.
Sure, yeah. Was the 135-pound championship. Merab Dvalishvili, the Machine.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about Merab. I mean, I gotta do a deep dive.
Merab is the very definition of weaponized cardio. He doesn't have amazing striking. He doesn't have amazing grappling. But what he does have is an insane gas tank, and he just wears people down, takes them down over and over, applies tons of pressure, usually wins by decision. Occasionally he'll get a finish. But yeah, his gas tank is just insane. And he was facing off against Petr Yan, who lost the 135-pound belt because he, years ago, illegally kneed Aljamain Sterling while he was on the ground. He kneed him in the face, which I think should be legal. But I think Petr Yan surprised a lot of people, and he just put together an unbelievable performance, beat the crap out of Merab, was extremely crisp and precise with his striking, did a lot of damage to Merab's face. He was able to fend off the takedowns and ultimately pulled out the victory in a pretty convincing fashion. So congratulations to Petr Yan. Clearly the better man won that night. Hopefully we can get a rematch in sometime soon.
Is it like worth a rematch?
I think, honestly, I think it is. Just because Merab had defended the belt probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, he should probably get a second shot.
But I would not be surprised if Yan does the exact same thing, because he's just a better fighter. I mean, Merab's only weapon is a gas tank, but when you're going up against someone who can actually put some damage on you, that's not going to cut it. And then outside of the ring, a couple very important developments involving recent champions. It looks like Tom Aspinall will not be returning to the UFC in what continues to be one of the saddest but also funniest storylines in sports I've ever seen.
He got poked in the eye.
This man waited for 2 years for a fight with John Jones. The fight didn't happen. Finally gets a shot for the real belt against Cyril Gane. gets poked in the eye, can't continue. The fight's declared a no contest, and his eye is still damaged like 2.5 months later, and now it looks like he's going to be out of the UFC. So
Jesus Christ. That's
yeah,
so sad.
It is so sad how that went down, and but it's also like hilarious. And then, so obviously we'll keep an eye on Tom Aspinall. I think we all hope he returns, but
Did you
don't
do
count
that on purpose?
What?
What are we gonna do with Tom Aspinall?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on him.
We're not gonna keep our eyes on him. Just one.
Just one. And another champion, Ilya Topuria, just came out and announced that he will not be fighting in 2026.
What the fuck?
I think he is still sad that his hot, rich Spanish wife left him. And also I think he wants to move to boxing because he was probably the best boxer in the UFC, and he can make more money in one fight in boxing than he has in his entire career in the UFC. So understandable, and hope to see him in some kind of action soon.
Maybe he'll be in Zuffa boxing. They haven't really announced who's in Zuffa boxing yet.
He is a spectacular fighter.
I've watched him. No, that was the last guy I did the deep dive on.
Yeah, he's great.
That guy's fucking freak. But
yeah,
is he really that sad about his Spanish wife?
I mean, you saw her?
That's true, but can't he get a new hot Spanish wife?
Yeah, but not a rich one.
What? Steal Ronaldo's go. Where's she? She's not Portuguese.
Saudi Arabia, probably.
Yeah, go there, and then you could do that while you're doing a boxing fight.
Yeah,
and while you're there, ask them about the Emirates Cup.
Yeah, you ask them about the Emirates Cup, and then come on the podcast and explain it to us, and then we will not be able to understand it.
It's the FA Cup in soccer, but for basketball.
What's the FA Cup?
It is a stupid thing in the Premier League in soccer where all of the teams play single elimination tournament, including the teams in like lower divisions that aren't in the Premier League.
Okay, but those games
it's in a
also
Ted Lasso
count.
Episode.
Those games also count for like the standings for the playoffs.
Most of the cup games count for the standings. Only the semifinals and the finals don't. No, only the semifinals and the finals don't.
But then if you're eliminated from the playoffs, do you just like not play those games, or do you just play other games to make up for it, but that don't count as part of the playoff? No,
if you win the finals, you would have played, or if you even get in it, you would have played 2 extra games on your season. You would have an 84-game season.
Got it.
And none of the stats in those 2 games, all the group stage, everything else counts towards your actual stats. None of those do.
Great. So they're not playoff stats. No. They're not regular season stats. They're NBA Cup stats.
Hey, the playing game stats also don't count towards anything.
Fair.
Imagine you go all the way to the Cup, and then you do the play-in, and then you have a deep playoff run. You're going to end up playing like 110 games.
Yeah, well, that's why they call it the second season,
All right, I think we're good. We did it.
Yeah.
Wait, did we mention Bo Nix?
Oh, yeah. Bo Nix is a person who could walk into any bar in New York City and not get recognized.
He could walk into a bar in Denver and not get recognized.
Yeah.
Anyway, 200 Proof Sports promo code and SeatGeek, $20 off everything. Teach us about the Emirates Cup.
Yeah, we still don't know. No idea how it works. Please, someone.
I know a little bit. I still don't get what they're going for.
Yeah.
This is like the 4th year of it. No one cares.
Yeah.
When are people going to start caring?
They had all summer to figure it out. Figure out what you do.
What do you do?
But what do you do? What is your thing?
He smashes laptops.
Okay, you put his hat on him. What does that do?
All right, guys. Peace out.